Hey everyone, welcome back to the homestead. I am Nadine. Today I am out in my greenhouse and garden because I have some blueberries and raspberries that I need to plant today. I've been trying to plant blueberries for quite a few many years without much success. And I don't know if it was the kind that I was buying, the location that I was planting them, or the fact that I've just moved them around entirely too many times because I can't make up my mind on how I want things laid out. I don't know. But this year I invested in some much larger plants. They're probably 2 feet tall and a little bit bushier than the ones that I usually get. The ones that I usually get come in like these packages, and it's basically a rooted stick. So they would take like a cutting off of a mature blueberry, put it in some rooting powder or rooting hormone like this, stick it in some dirt, and it would sprout roots. And that's a really great way to get more plants for free, essentially. But sometimes it's not always the best way to get your starts. So this year, like I said, I bought a big, I don't know, it's like a gallon, half-gallon sized pot. They're about 2 feet tall. And so they're a lot more mature than the ones that I've bought in the past. So I'm hoping that these ones work out a little bit better than the ones that I've bought in the past. Some things that I've also learned with having blueberries and trying to plant them and whatnot is that they need water, but they don't like staying wet. So it's good to mound up the soil and kind of plant them on a mound instead of at ground level. So that's something I'm going to be doing today, is I'm just going to mound up the dirt and plant them in the mound. And hopefully that keeps the runoff away from them and they don't get soaked. It is really bright today. I need sunglasses. Another thing that blueberries like acidic soil. So I do believe it's like a let me look. So blueberries like a 4.5 or a 5, like between a 4.5 and a 5.5 pH level in the soil. So it's a little bit more acidic. And I know my soil here there's no pine trees and things to make it acidic. So what I might do is, I've gotten quite a few loads of wood chips over the last couple months. The very last load that I got was all pine chips. So what I might do is rake up some of the pine chips that I've put down and mulch around the blueberries if their pH isn't right. I did get this soil moisture, light, and pH tester. So we're gonna go ahead and test where I want to plant them, see what the pH is like, and then see about bringing that up for them. I did do a bit more research as well as to what blueberries do best in my region, in my grow zone. And that could have been a potential reason why my blueberries weren't doing well either, was that I was just getting the wrong varieties. So I do believe the varieties that I got are considered North High Bush varieties. The two that I got were Duke and Patriot. You do want to get a secondary variety to cross-pollinate, so you get the best fruit production off of your blueberries. So I did go ahead and I got the Patriot and the Duke, so they cross-pollinate. And then those two are the two varieties that do the best in my particular area. I'm in zone 6A. And those are the two varieties that were like top of the list for my area. So those are the ones that I went with this time. So I'm crossing my fingers and praying and hoping that these do really, really well for me. They also like full sun. So the area that I'm putting them in is full sun. They're gonna have all of the sun that they want. It does get a little bit shaded in the evening as the sun goes down, but for the bulk of the day, they've got morning sun, afternoon sun, early evening sun, and they're just gonna love it. So, what else? I think that's about it as far as blueberry information goes that I've picked up and learned along the way. And like I said, I'm just hoping that these ones do a lot better than the last ones that I got in the past. So without further ado, let me show you where I want to plant them. We're gonna go ahead and test the soil. This might be different because I'm gonna need to pull some compost. So maybe I'll test the soil that I have underneath, and then I'll test my compost, and then we'll see where the pH lies, and then if it's too low, if it's too high, I doubt it's too high, but too low, we'll go ahead and add the pine chips on top, and that'll add a little bit of acidity back into the soil for them. And then after that, I am going to move on to planting the raspberries. I've got these two here. So hopefully these do well. I haven't had much luck with raspberries in the past either. And I haven't done a whole lot of research on them, so I might do that in between videos here and just share with you what I found. So, well, without further blabbing on, let me show you where I'm planting my blueberries, and let's get started. So here's where I'm planning on putting my blueberries. It's just outside the greenhouse here. This is where I actually had previously planted my raspberries, and it just did not work out. So last year I did wildflowers here, and I had like a garden like wall around here, but I've been diligently working to remove that. As you can see, I need to fill in this spots. These are the only surviving raspberry canes that I have. They actually came back up, and there's some life happening down here. So what I might do is I'll get these blueberries planted here. I am doing them a little bit tighter than they recommend. They recommend like 4 to 6 feet between them. But I do things a little bit different here, and I cram things in small spaces. So we're just gonna stick them right up close next to each other, and we'll just keep them pruned as necessary because these do get 6 to 8 feet tall, and I don't want them that tall either. So we're gonna be doing a lot of pruning to keep them the right height and the right shape for my space. So we're gonna do those here. And then I think with my surviving canes being here, what I might do is just back out a little bit here. I'm gonna put a T-post like this one here, like a couple feet off the fence, and another one down there. And I'm gonna run some wire and then plant the raspberries. Again, kind of mound it up. They don't like to sit in wetness. So we're gonna mound up the soil and then plant them in the mound. And as they grow, instead of the canes just kind of going every which way, I'm gonna train them to grow up and then loop over by tying them to the wires that run between those two T-posts. And then by training my raspberries to grow where I want them to grow, it's gonna make much better use of the space that I have. I don't have a lot of canes, like I said, just those two that came up and the two that I bought. So I think that'll fill in this space nicely. If not, I'll just have to pick up some more. But that's the plan. Anyway, just to take advantage of that like side garden space there, and get those berries all situated. So I'm hoping that it works out well, especially for the raspberries. I've been wanting raspberries for a long time, so I need to do a little bit more research about growing raspberries. If any of you have grown raspberries successfully, leave me all of the tips and tricks in the comments below, because your girl needs some help with raspberries. All right, so I'm going to grab a shovel. I think I have one back behind me, and a rake. We're gonna rake away all of the chips that are there where my blueberries are gonna go. We're gonna bring in a couple wheelbarrows of compost to get that soil mounded up nice for them, and then we'll get them planted. got all of the blueberries planted. I tried to get them in as straight of a line as possible. I think I did all right. I left them like 2.5 feet off the back fence. That way I can walk down this side and this side to prune them, collect berries. But I think they turned out really well. It's hard to tell from the video, but I did mound up this dirt a little bit, not a whole lot, but enough that the rain isn't going to pool at the roots, which I think they'll be happy about. So now I just got to move my wood chips back. These ones are hardwood chips. I want to try to put some pine wood chips over top of the blueberry mound because it's going to add some acidity to the soil. But I want to test it first to be sure that they actually need the acidity, because we don't want it to be too acidic before I put stuff on here. If it's fine the way it is, I'll just move these wood chips back over top and call it a day. So let me go get my pH tester and we'll give the soil a test and see what it says. Alrighty, I got my pH tester and I'm gonna pull it out of here. This is what it looks like, and it has a little dial. There we go, the little dial on the top, and then it has a toggle between moisture, light, and pH. So we want to test the pH, so I have this all the way over to the side, and then let's see what the instructions say. Alright, so switch to the setting that you want, moisture, light, or pH. Insert the probe into the soil about 2 to 4 inches. Adjust the position of the probe until the pointers on the dial swing slightly. Check moisture, pH, light level in dial after 10 minutes. And then remove from soil and wipe clean after each use. So I'm going to put this in my soil and then set a timer and come back in 10 minutes. I guess we want it. All right. While I'm waiting for that, I'm going to take a 10-minute break myself, go get my kids a snack, get myself something to eat and drink as well, and then I will be back. So I will see you guys in 10 minutes. All right, so I'm back outside. Let's check our pH tester and see what it says. So here's our pH tester. Blueberries are gonna like it between a 4 and a 5. And we are considered alkaline, which is great for your fruits and veggies. But your berries want something a little bit more acidic. So I'm gonna need to move some of those pine chips that I placed down over around the garden and put them over top of this mound, and possibly look into some blueberry fertilizer or amendments of some sort to help bring the pH of the soil up so these blueberries really thrive here. So that's something I'll be researching and looking into. I'll bring you guys along on the video for that one as well, because we definitely want our blueberries to do well. And with it being an alkaline soil, they're not gonna thrive here. They'll probably do okay, but they're not gonna thrive the way I want my blueberries to be thriving. So I'm gonna look into how to bring the pH up in the soil. If you guys have any tips or tricks on how to do that, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys, so go ahead and leave those there. So I'm gonna get these guys a nice drink of water and move some wood chips around to get them covered, because I don't want weeds growing all up on the soil that I just moved, because it was time for weeding. I don't. Alrighty guys, this probably wraps up the video for today. I might do another video for the raspberries. We'll see. I'm quickly running out of daylight here. It is 5 o'clock. So I think I've got about 2 hours of daylight left. So
I might get to the raspberries, I might not. We shall see. But this wraps it up for the blueberry video. If you guys like this video, if you found it helpful at all, go ahead and hit that like button. If you are not a subscriber, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell for notifications. Lets you know when anything new is up on the channel. And then if you're already a subscriber, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for supporting my channel. I so appreciate each and every one of you. Alrighty guys, I am going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to grow where you're planted.